Hello and welcome. I'm author, mom survivor, Grace Rolson. I fought in a 12-year family court battle and was required by the family courts to co parent with a narcissist, often a totally impossible feat. And I learned some things along the way. So I'm here to share my survivor wisdom with you. So take what's helpful, leave the rest. The question is, are you the target of blame to the narcissist? If you are this TOB, target of blame, maybe I'll call it a blame goat instead of a scapegoat. This can be where the trouble lies in the root of all the problems, all the post separation abuse. It can be the cause of all the co parenting abuse, as I call it. It can be the cause of never being able to negotiate and avoid court or a trial with a narcissistic ex. So stay tuned as I explain this idea. No, I'm not a therapist. So just a quick disclaimer that, I'm not a therapist. This isn't a direct advice for your case. What worked for me may not work for you. This is my shared survivor wisdom. Um, I'm hoping that you get something really helpful. So stay to the end and know that I do have another free video for moms called Winner's Backlash. And there's some reasons why you may not want to think win and lose when you're in a family court setting. If you're ready and willing to learn and do some of the self work, self awareness exercises required, I believe we can be the change that we want to see. I'm here to teach, coach, mentor. I do private sessions. My background is loving and leaving an alcoholic, breaking free of trauma bonds, codependency, love addiction. Turns out he was a narcissist as well. And I had put myself against the narcissist, which was my mistake. And also the family courts and the lawyers put me, an empath, a caring, loving, financially at a disadvantage empath against a wealthy, enabling, selfish, lying narcissist. Not a place that someone like me wants to be or could even thrive. So I had to learn many lessons along the way. I have 6 books for moms going through this. If you're a dad or a stepmom, you can certainly learn from this. Just, translate it into how it works out for you. My first book is Co-Parenting with a Narcissist: 7 Self Rules to Stay Sane. My second's How to Fight a Narcissist in Family Court and Win. Watch out for that win word. Go check out that winner's backlash that I talk about. So, one of my newest ones is Tame the Narcissist. First, we're taming our own trauma. So, we do have trauma and buttons that can be pushed if we've been in a relationship with a narcissist. We've probably been narcissistically abused. And if it was a one night stand and you're now dealing with post separation abuse and all that, there's still things that we have to tame inside of ourselves so we can get better co-parenting and create peace and protection for ourselves. So that's a newer book on Amazon. You can pick these up. Support me as a self-published author. My newest is Wisdom for Ending the Co-Parenting War and a Custody Battle with a Narcissist. So you can heal and be able to help your child. Also on Amazon, full of my best tips, tools, and strategies. I give it to you all because I did survive a 5-day trial. I did go on after losing all my rights and 50% of the time winning all my rights back and getting more than 50% of the time and eventually negotiating with a narcissist. So as you probably know, if you don't know a narcissist, go find my video, Know the Narcissist, the 10 things you need to know as a co-parent. But narcissists are chronic complainers. They're just never happy. So they might be, satiated for a short period of time with new narcissistic supply. They bought a boat, they bought a camper, they got a new girlfriend. Something has got their attention. So they're not sitting around and mother blaming. They are chronic complainers and toxic blamers. Narcissists, I say, are even toxic to themselves. No, I'm not a therapist, but I've seen them destroy themselves in an attempt to try to destroy another, which is toxic to themselves, highly toxic to vulnerable children with the lack of empathy and the cold and the callousness and the selfishness and the neglectfulness of a narcissistic parent. It's very damaging psychologically to a child. There's a lot of mother blaming, blame shifting, false accusations, and false allegations. If you try to back them up into a corner, you will see all of this come out. So there are obviously a lot of DV cases with narcissists uh, as partners, and then narcissists as ex-partners. The post-separation abuse and the Darvo tactics can go on, which is why I talk about the target of blame. So what is the target of blame? Well, I learned this in a book or two or three. And it's like a scapegoat. It's like having a fall guy. So if you've bruised, battered, or fractured the narcissist's ego, if you've done some type of narcissistic injury to them, tried to expose them, broke up with them, ignored them. Um, all of these things can really trigger the narcissist. And it's not wise to trigger someone who punches below the belt, can get really nasty, can take things out on a vulnerable child in unsupervised time, can keep the family court thing going just to feel like they're able to do something against you. So if you feel set up to be the enemy to destroy or the adversary of the narcissist, or if you're set up to be the opposition, you may see more DV, post separation abuse, DV type of tactics like legal abuse coming your way. So, what do I teach moms who, they do one-to-one sessions with me? I said, we have to turn the target of blame off of us, which means we can't act like their enemy, their micromanaging mom, calling them out on things. Um, there's ways to accumulate bad behavior and have a lawyer call it out to another lawyer who then tries to get their client to do what they're supposed to do. There's ways to turn it, especially if you've, gone in family court and held the narcissist in contempt. You don't want it to be you, though. That's the thing that I try to get moms away from. We can't be putting ourselves against the other parent. So moms who say, I'm going to file against you, that's a setup to be the enemy. And what will a narcissist do when you've won against them? Go look at that video, Winner's Backlash. They can do everything under the sun for retaliation tactics. And they're personality disordered. So you're going to get disorder. There's going to be lack of boundaries. They're not going to care how it affects you or the child. And some of them actually enjoy watching other people suffer and have pain because they're in pain. Hurt people hurt people. Well, they're disordered, so we can expect disorder. So I've seen in the Winner's Backlash video, moms think, oh, I won full custody, only to be dragged through court the next 10 years on lies, to be thrown in jail, because now if one thing doesn't work, a narcissist goes to the next. They don't tend to let things go. They're not at peace. So I've seen moms be accused of crimes, be arrested, be put in jail. There's all kinds of things they can file in court and make sure that you don't get the summons, and then you're not showing up for court that you didn't know you had. All kinds of terrible tactics of the narcissist. So they have tactics, manipulations, they have tricks, they have traps that moms have stepped into, and they set them. And that's why we need skillful means and strategies. And that's what I teach. So, how to change your image if you're the target of blame because the lawyer says it's you against them, or the judge says it's the mother against the father, or if you've been putting yourself, that means you'll have to change it on the inside first. That the narcissist isn't your enemy, even though you are, desperately trying to protect your kids from abuse. It's your co-parent. And I had a hard time with this with my coaches back then, that this is my co-parent, even though he didn't co-parent, he didn't act like a parent. He was an ex that I hated. I had to say, he's not the best co-parent. He's not even co-parenting. But in the judge's eyes and the eyes of the court and legally, this is my co-parent. So we're in this together. And that means I don't want to be drawing hard lines, making it a him against me battle because I lost every time. No matter what I thought I was winning on the surface, he would undermine me later. And that's where you see if a narcissist can't get to you, they'll get through the children, they'll weaponize the children, they'll turn children against the other parent, lies and stories. It's not worth it. I've learned it's not worth it. I mean, if your case is something with severe child abuse with documentation and I mean, there are so many exceptions to this. So, if this isn't resonating with you because you have an extreme case of some type of child abuse that needs to just be brought to court, I still think there's a way to turn the target off of a mother's back. Um, and I had to change because the target on my back is which I was positioning myself as I'm the mom that's going to protect this child. I'm going to report you. I'm going to expose you. I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to annihilate you. I'm going to get your money. I'm going to make you pay child. I'm going to hold you in contempt. All of that made me his enemy, caused the fight to go on and on forever. Forever meaning 12 years of a family court battle that was financially devastating. Not worth it. If I could go back, I would start with stopping the root cause, which is I don't want to position myself as the narcissist enemy. So, who can the enemy be? Well, narcissists don't like to pay lawyers, they don't like authority, they don't like being someone above them. So, someone, rules, regulations, people in a authority, there's so many other people that a narcissist can hate. And if you've ever, if you've been with a narcissist, they'll find some group, some person, something to hate, some type of something that could hold them accountable, take away their freedom. Um, there's ways to do this and make sure that it's not us. So if you want to use skillful means, this is a key teaching that I talk about is to stop being the narcissist target of blame and to change our view of them in our mind and have over time, for me, it took a year of planting the seeds of, hey, I'm not your enemy, but the courts want you to pay for child support and the state wants you to do this. And the lawyer says we have to file these motions because it needs to be fair to the child. And this is what's standard and this is what's missing. So it wasn't me anymore. It was lawyers and judges and states and rules and regulations that he could be mad at. I often think that a person that likes to fight needs somebody to fight, and an angry person needs a target. And I say, if you're dealing with an angry narcissist, don't be that target. So, if you want to know more about the narcissist, go find that free video called Know the Narcissist. It's got the 10 things, 11 things you need to know about a narcissist as a co parent. So, if you're surprised and shocked by his behavior, it means you haven't fully grasped that this is a personality disorder and the type of person that they are. Um, Once you accept it, you'll play this chess game very differently. I never say go toe to toe with the narcissist or stay in a tug of war. I teach skillful means, non resistance, getting good representation, and an advocate for the child, an advocate for you as a mom, like a lawyer. Um, Turning that to off of us can be so helpful to actually get to negotiations, to get to cooperation, to get to some peace, to get the child out of a war zone. If this is resonating with you, come to my website, check out my blog for more articles and guides. I have a 20 wants list, a power tool. If you are not leading the lawyers with what you want, and then asking what else you can get, you may just be going in it blindly and paying lots of legal fees that are unnecessary. So, same thing with this target of blame idea. You may not need to go and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on legal fees if you can become more neutral and neutralize the narcissist and not be the TOB. I have a free Substack newsletter. Find that link below. Remember to learn, heal, and grow. Keep being a great mom, and like and subscribe if you want more free videos. You can check out my podcast. These are all wisdom teachings, and thanks so much for watching.